Now the king was old and stricken in years, and they covered him with clothes, but he got no heat. Wherefore his servant said unto him, Let there be sought for my lord the king a young virgin, and let her stand before the king, and let her cherish him, and let her lie in thy bosom, that my lord the king may get heat. So they sought for a fair damsel throughout all the coast of Israel, and found Abishag, a Shunammite, and brought her to the king. And the damsel was very fair, and cherished the king, and ministered to him. But the king knew her not, 'cause the king knew she wasn't just a woman. There's something in her. Look beyond her face. Look into her face, and you will see a place. There's the kingdom in her. There's a kingdom in a woman. There's a kingdom in a woman. Yeah, don't call her a woman. She's a kingdom. Don't call her a damsel. She's a kingdom. Don't call her a woman. She's a kingdom. Don't call her a damsel. She's a kingdom. The kingdom in a woman is what you should check. Is what you should check before you take her to yourself for a wife. It's what you should check. It's what you should check before you take her to yourself for a wife. It's what you should check. Oh, don't call her a woman. She's a kidder. She's a kidder. She's a kidder. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to teach you on a message which I title, There is a Kingdom in a Woman. There is a kingdom in a woman. People get married to people because they love them, not because of the true purpose of marriage. People see people and fall in love with them because of their beauty, not because of what they possess inside of them. I'm here to open your eyes so you can understand that there is a kingdom in a woman, and then what you should marry is not the body but the kingdom in her. Because if you fail to understand this knowledge I'm about to teach and put it to work in your life, you will pay dearly. There are people whose ministry are corrupted today because of the kind of woman they married. There are people whose business has collapsed today because of the kind of woman they married. There are people today whose family are scattered because of the kind of woman they married. There are people today who were good with their friends, but as soon as a stranger entered their life called a woman, the friendship was battered and daggered, and today they are no more. There are people today who are living in health, in sickness, because of the kind of woman that came into their life. Some of you have bankrupted after you met a lady. There are women that will come into your life, they become lifters. They begin to lift and elevate you. There are women that will come into your life, they abase you, they bring you to naught. A man can be reduced to a morsel of bread by the means of a whorish woman, as Proverbs stated. So the kind of woman that enters your life matters. Now, they are all women, but what distinguishes them? They are all women, but what differentiates them? They are all women. What distinguishes them? What segregates them from each other? What makes them different from each other? It is what they carry inside of them. It is what they carry within them. And that thing is a kingdom. And once that kingdom is invited by you and welcomed by you, it will be established in your life. And whatever that kingdom is orchestrated to perform will be performed in your life, be it good or evil. Now, you must understand that when God created a woman, he had a purpose. He said, it is not good that the man should be alone. And when he created the woman, he said that she may be a helpmate to the man. In other words, the kingdom that God installed in that woman is a helping factor, is a helping kingdom, a kingdom that can help the man to become. So that is why when the devil wanted to bring the man, no, he needed to take advantage of that kingdom and use that woman as a helping means to bring the man down. So what is my point? If you refuse to understand what a woman possesses inside of her, if you fail to understand that the devil has taken advantage of a kingdom in a particular woman and has corrupted that kingdom to the bringing down of your calling, your ministry, your work, and whatever, you will fail in life. If you fail to understand that what a woman possesses inside of her is of God and it can help your life, you may miss that woman by despising her and being carried away by the things of this world called beauty. Now, if you study your Bible, the Bible said in the book of 1 Kings chapter 1, starting from 1 to 4. Now King David was old and stricken in years, and they covered him with clothes, but he got no heat. Wherefore his servant said unto him, Let there be sought for my lord the king a young virgin, and let her stand before the king, and let her cherish him, and let her lie in thy bosom, that my lord the king may get heat. So they sought for a fair damsel throughout all the coast of Israel, and found Abishag a Shunammite, and brought her to the king. Child of God, what will make a king to experience a code that cannot be placated by other means except by a woman? You must understand there are things that God allows in a man's life so he can reveal the worth of a lady. There are challenges that will come into your life not because originally they should be there, not because God takes delight in bringing these things, but he wants you to know the worth of a woman. There are things that will happen to a man in his life. Friends and family will scatter. People who were there for you when you were made, or people who were there for you when you were heady, will walk away from your life, and that woman will show up to ameliorate and pacify that situation in your life. Why did God allow that? So you can know the worth of that woman. There are many women that you will never know their worth until some situation arises in your life. There are many women that you will never know their value until some certain things happen to you. It is when these things happen to you and they show up in your life, they become the light in your darkness, then you will know the worth of these women. The Bible said that who can find a virtuous woman? Who can find is a question that needs an answer. Why did they use the word who can find? Because it's something that is very rare. It's something that is very scarce. It is something that is not common. So it means who can find a woman with a virtuous kingdom, with a kingdom that has the power to elevate a man and bring him to peace, joy, and ecstasy that can take away every sorrow in the life of that man. The Bible went further and said that the life of a husband is safely, he said the husband do trust in her that there will be no spoil of his goose. Her husband do trust in her that there will be no spoil of his goose, and the life of her husband is safely in her hands, that she will keep thy life. She will not hurt thee all the days of her life, but she will do you good. Now it means this kingdom called virtuousness is a kingdom that can only produce good and not evil. And this is the kind of kingdom that Solomon needed in a woman. And for this kingdom to be made available, God needed to make David to fit a code that cannot be ameliorated through hot water, that cannot be ameliorated through the making of fire, that cannot be ameliorated through other means. And when this means was about to be applied, that the counseled and that they suggested for David, this means was cursed. This means was not common. The Bible said they went through all the coast of Israel, all the coast. What were they looking for? Is it that there were no women in other coasts? Is it that there were not women around the palace? Is it that there were no concubines in the palace? Or David had no wife? Or there were not dancers around the community where David's kingdom was established? It means what the value, the worth of this person was not in these people. So it took them time and it stressed them. It took them so much for them to be able to find this woman. And when this woman was found and brought before David, the Bible said in verse 4, and the dancer was very fair and cherished the king and ministered to him, but the king knew her not. Why did David not touch her? Because David knew there was a kingdom in that woman. David knew the worth of that woman. David knew that that woman was not just a woman that you should abuse sexually. She's not just a concubine. Her coming is not just for sexual pleasure. There is something spectacular. There is something special. There is something unique and outstanding about that woman. And David had an insight and left her for Solomon, because God raised that woman to become Solomon's backbone. There are women that will live your life. Your defense will be taken from you. There are women that will depart from your life. They will be exposed to attack, vulnerable to every attack that the enemies will ever mechanize against you. But when these women are there, no matter what the enemies do, nothing will happen, because they are your umbrella and they are your cover. Now, if you study in chapter 2 of this First Kings, from 13 to 25, the Bible said that Adonijah went to the mother of Solomon, Bathsheba, and began to negotiate and discuss with Bathsheba on how Bathsheba should make available this Abishag to him for a wife. And when Bathsheba had the agreement with him and went to Solomon and told Solomon these things. Now, before she made her request, she first of all said to Solomon, there is something I want to ask you. Do not say no to me. And Solomon promised her that whatever she asked will be what made available to her. But as soon as she made mention of Abishag, Solomon became angry. And Solomon said, has Adonijah not said this against his own life? And Adonijah was destroyed that very day. The priest and the prophet who conspired with Adonijah to take that woman, they were all what? Punished that very day. Why? Because Solomon knew the worth of that woman. What did Solomon reply the mother? He said, why do you only ask for the damsel? Why not also ask for the kingdom? Because Solomon knew that the kingdom was connected to the woman. Solomon knew that the strength of that kingdom was what? In that woman. If the kingdom will be taken from him, then the woman should be taken first. If the kingdom must be retained, then that woman should be retained first. So Solomon retained that woman because she knew that the half of the kingdom was connected to that woman. If you study the book of Samuel, when David came to the battlefield and saw Goliath ranting and banging against the children of Israel, he went and said, what shall be given to a man who will bring down this giant? They said the half of the kingdom, the king's daughter and the half of the kingdom will be given to that man. Why do they use the word the half of the kingdom? Because any man that marries the king's daughter, the half of the kingdom will follow. Now, it means there is a kingdom. Half of the kingdom is tied toward a woman. When Herod was celebrating his birthday and a particular damsel was dancing, when she pleased the king and impressed the king said to her, ask me anything, even to the half of my kingdom, and I will do it. Why did the king make mention of half of the kingdom? God allowed these things to happen so he can open your eyes and your understanding that half of the kingdom is connected to a woman. If any man must be complete in life, you must complete your kingdom by finding the half of your kingdom, which is in the woman. A woman bodily is a disguise, but there is something in her called a kingdom. Until you discover that thing and bring that into your life, your kingdom can never be complete. You must understand that there is a kingdom in a woman, and every kingdom is devised to manifest in a particular way. And if the kingdom in a particular woman is erroneous and you bring her into your life, she will pollute everything that you ever established before she came. The Bible said that Ahab married Jezebel. Jezebel was not an Israelite, but she was a princess in another kingdom, a daughter of the king of Sidon. Now, when this Jezebel was brought to Israel, she came with her own, the half of her own kingdom and established in Israel. Whatever she met there was corrupted, because the kingdom she carried is the kingdom of error, is the kingdom of witchcraft. witchcraft, is a kingdom of adultery and immorality. There are many women today who were married by genuine men of God, but as soon as they married them into their church, the church was polluted, their kingdom was corrupted, because they don't understand that there is a kingdom in a woman. Whatever kingdom you marry will subdue whatever kingdom you had before you married her. You must understand that there is a special kingdom in a woman. A kingdom that can never help you is not worth marrying. A kingdom that will not elevate you should not be endorsed. There are people today who discuss love in relationship. They discuss finance in relationship instead of them to discuss kingdom. What you should be dissecting and analyzing is the kingdom. Look into her, examine and evaluate her. Check the manner of kingdom she contains. There are women that will enter your life. Legions of demons will come into your life by the means of that woman. One time the Lord opened my eyes and I saw a lady. This lady, her eyes is the eyes of a serpent, the eyes of a serpent, a mirror. So each time this lady enters my room, a serpent enters with her, and when this serpent enters with her, through the eye they monitor my life, the whole of her kingdom. My eyes was open and I saw an ocean where this lady is connected to. So the whole of that ocean, the members of that ocean, the oceanic members, they can watch me through their mirror. And what was their mirror? Her eyes. So it means anywhere I go, that she goes with me, they can see me and monitor me and know what to destroy and what to scatter. So it took me fasting and prayer to disconnect myself from this satellite, from this monitoring spirit, which they planted in my life already. She might not be with me physically, but they can still see me, because somehow she's following me about through the door I opened. What door? Because I allowed her to be my friend. She can visit me. So because she has stepped into my life at all, she has been accommodated. So by that power, by that means, by that atmosphere, they can watch me wherever I go. So things were not working well for me in those days. So I began to pray and ask God, and God said, go to Mount Olive. So I lasted 6 days in the place of prayer. Dry fast. So while I was doing this, the 4th day, the Lord opened my eyes and light came out of my eyes, and this light struck a serpent that was beholding me, and this is the serpent that was living in her. So when this light struck this serpent, I fell out of that trance. From that time, things started working well again. Now, what is my point? My point is that this lady is a mobile kingdom. She carries an ocean, and she entered my life, and the whole of the oceanic were in my life, destroying things there. So there are people like that in your life, and you think you are with a lady. Just stepping into my life, it was an error. How much more if I had had sex with her? So there are many of you today who sexually meet with a lady, and you think you are meeting with a lady, or not to you that you are meeting with demons from the river, demons from the tree, and you call them women. Some of you think, oh, as soon as you pay bride price, that is a sign that they are not your wife. You have legalized your union with them. Who told you? That bride price you paid to man, you paid to man, and it does not disqualify these spirits from coming into your life through that very woman you married. So that is why you can pay a woman's bride price, bring her into your life, and your life will become an epitome of corruption. Financially, you'll be corrupted. Spiritually, you'll be corrupted. Because these demons don't understand bride price. What they understand is fire. What they understand is purity. What they understand is spiritual legality. The woman you brought into your life, did God give his consent? The woman you brought into your life, did God agree? Did he affirm that very relationship? These are the things you must check. So if heaven hands up, child of God, your bride price is your stupidity, and despite the bride price, they can still come into your life and rubbish you. Jezebel was not borrowed. They paid bride price for Jezebel. Ahab had all the finance to pay a woman's bride price. So she was legally married physically, but spiritually there was no grant, because God has already commissioned the children of Israel never to marry from these strangers, because they will become snake to them and they will corrupt them. This was the same mistake that Solomon made. Solomon had Abishag. So all the time he married women within Israel and married and had concubines within Israel. Nothing happened. So God was not against Solomon because he had concubines or because he married too many women. But when he invited the daughter of Pharaoh, when he started bringing strange women and they brought their strange kingdom, their strange gods, that is when Solomon was corrupted. So what is my point? No matter how powerful you are, no matter how indefatigable you are, when a mobile kingdom of Satan comes into your life called a woman, you will be corrupted, and there is nothing you can do about it. There are things you must first of all evaluate before you sign this contract called marriage with a woman. Check the kingdom she possesses. You must understand the kingdom. The Bible said that this dancer danced, and this dance impressed Herod, to the point that Herod now said, even to the half of my kingdom, ask anything. What was he thinking? Child of God, you must understand that when some women come into your life, they are not just alone. They come with influence. They come with spare. They come with power that can manipulate you against your normality and sanity. So you can become unreasonable by the presence of a worldly woman. You can become unreasonable by the presence of a particular woman who carries legions of demons into your house. Physically, she's there with you singularly, but spiritually, she has legions around you. And with this legion, she can subdue you and rubbish your life. She can finish her mission in your life and walk away. There are men who great men could not bring down. There are men who heroes could not bring down, but one woman brought them down because they felt they were dealing with a woman. They didn't understand that they were dealing with a kingdom in the disguise of a woman. You must understand what you endorse. You must understand what you date. You must understand what you relate with. You must understand what you entertain in your life. There are many of you today now hearing my voice. You are going through some strange things in your life, not knowing that the presence and the shadow of a strange woman is the cause of what you are going through. There are people you need to filter from your life. There are people that you need to segregate from your life for things to start functioning the way they should function. If you study your Bible very well, you discover when David was about to exit the world, he called Solomon and said, Solomon, my son, if you must experience peace, there are people who are bloody and erroneous in this kingdom that you must delete through your wisdom. And by his wisdom, he was able to eradicate these men. One of them was Joab, David's captain. So there are people who will surround your kingdom. You won't see peace. That is why David never experienced peace. He was a just man, but he was a man surrounded by bloody men, surrounded by cunning men, surrounded by men who were stained and men who were wicked. So for Solomon to see peace, for Solomon to epitomize peace, he needed to remove this man from his life. And the strength for him to conquer this was that woman. When they first heard against him, he forgave them when they asked for forgiveness. Adonijah precisely. But when they started asking for that woman, it became a strong ground for him to kill them. So what they asked for killed them. So God brought that woman for such a time like that, because he knew that it would have been difficult for Solomon to remove these people from the kingdom. And if Solomon did not remove them, there is no way Solomon would have experienced peace, having such wicked people surrounding him who caused his father to go through trouble while he was alive. So for this thing to be done according to the wisdom of God and the counsel of David to Solomon, God needed to bring a woman who he will install the kingdom with him. And when the priests look and discover with their knowledge that this woman contains the kingdom, they will not ask for the kingdom. So when they not ask for the kingdom, Solomon in his wisdom will understand that this thing that they are asking for is not just a woman, but they are asking for a kingdom. And if they should attain this kingdom, his own life will be in danger, because they will not leave him alive. So he saw it as a good ground to kill them. So that woman, the presence of that woman, leveled the ground for him. There are women that will come into your life. Whatever you have been doing for years that you could not do will be leveled, will be made smooth. It will become very light for you, because God has brought a kingdom, and with the strength of that kingdom, you can move any mountain. The Bible said one will chase 10,000, two will chase 10,000. You will become more powerful when that woman comes into your life. But there is this kind that we call everything you ever gathered in your life will fall into the ocean of disaster, because you don't know what you brought into your life. You thought you married a woman, but you never knew you married the devil in the disguise of a woman. Child of God, you must know that there is a kingdom in a woman. The dancer so much impressed Herod, and Herod said, ask anything, even to the half of the kingdom. What did he ask? The head of a prophet. The head. Now, he thought he was dealing with a child, but he never knew that the childish appearance, the childlike appearance was a disguise, that there was a Jezebel in her. That same Jezebel was in her mother, and her mother sold it in the child. What did Jezebel ask for in the life of Elijah? The head. Now, John the Baptist, who possessed the spirit of Elijah, the head was asked for, because the woman that was standing before Herod, called Herodian, was a Jezebel, a possessor of Jezebel, a possessor of a kingdom called the kingdom of Jezebel. And that kingdom, she initiated her daughter into it. So through her daughter, she could access Herod. Through her daughter. So there are people in your life now. Now through them, the devil can access you, because you are affiliating with their property. You can't carry what belongs to Caesar, and Caesar won't carry what belongs to you. So you have to give Caesar what belongs to Caesar, so that Caesar can give you what belongs to you. So it means if you hate the devil and fight the devil, yet you affiliate with the devil's daughter, child of God, you are having a direct communion with the devil. a direct communion with the devil. If you study the book of Matthew 26 verse 69, now Peter sat without in the place, and a damsel came unto him, saying, Thou also was with Jesus of Galilee. Child of God, a man was following Jesus from afar. He was following Jesus from afar, and then he didn't want to disclose himself or reveal his identity with Jesus to the world, so they won't kill him. But this damsel came with the light of her wickedness and exposed Peter and said, Were you not with him? Now, this is a man that others could not identify. This is a man that others could not discover. But a damsel came. Child of God, do not underestimate her and say she's a child. Do not underestimate her and say she is young. No, there are so many of you now. Now, when you want to marry, you start looking for a lady that is very young, that you can control, that you can order around. So, and you end up marrying a giant of a damsel. And when you marry her, you discover that she looks down on you, she despises you, she brings you to disparage and speak ill of you and look at you with a proud look. And you begin to wonder, how come this young damsel is talking to me like this? Who told you she is young? There is a kingdom in her that is ancient. There is a kingdom in her that is aged. There is a kingdom in her that is older than you. And that kingdom will never allow her to be controlled by you. So you shouldn't be moved by her appearance. Go by what you see inside of her. Stop looking at her face. Look inside her face. Stop looking at her face. Look beyond her face. There is a place in her. And if you enter that place and discover that the place is terrible and horrible, child of God, walk out of that relationship. But if the place is holy and peaceful, child of God, retain her with all you can. Retain her with all you can, because you might not find that type again. There are types of kingdom in women. So you must analyze them, you must evaluate them and know what they possess. What they possess determines if you will align with them. You must first of all discover who you are. And when you know who you are and know the kingdom you carry, then it will help you to know the kingdom that is missing. So when you find the kingdom that is missing, you buy that kingdom. The Bible says, buy the truth and sell it not. So you buy that kingdom and never let it go. But when you don't have knowledge of these things, you can just end up with anybody. The reason why people meet with people anyhow or marry people anyhow is because they lack purpose. It's because they lack vision. It's because they lack discovery. They have not discovered themselves. They don't know who they are. So they don't know what is missing. So when you first of all know who you are, then you start looking for what is missing. So when you find what is missing, you hold that thing and never let it go. Don't say there are many women in the world, there are many fishes in the river. I have said it here before and I'm saying it again. It is not all fish that has money in its mouth. It is not all. Jesus said to Peter, the first one you will catch has money. Catch that one. So there is this woman you need to catch, and when you catch this woman, you will find something valuable in her. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Any woman that can be bought with rubies is rubbish. Any woman that has price tag is nothing but vanity. Such a kingdom will cause you to go through sorrow. But the kingdom that can help you is that kingdom that you will search everywhere before you find her. It's not a kingdom that you can just find anyhow. The Bible said that the damsel Abishag cherished the king and loved the king. The kingdom that can cherish you, the kingdom that will love you, and the kingdom that will minister to you. Not the kingdom that you took for sexual pleasure, but the kingdom that can minister. A minister. Someone that ministers is a minister. So someone that can minister to your life for increase, for fulfillment is what you should go for. And that kingdom can only be discovered through the help of the Holy Spirit. And after you have discovered who you are and the kind of kingdom you carry. So the kind of kingdom you carry will help you understand the kind of kingdom you should go for. So when you see the opposite, you walk away. There are many of you today, you are carrying a white kingdom and you are mingling and mixing with people with black kingdom. How can that kingdom be ever white? That kingdom will be stained and rubbished. The Bible said in the book of Proverbs chapter 12 verse 4, a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness in his bone. Child of God, what is a kingdom without a crown? What is a kingdom without a crown? It is the crown that proves to the people that a man is a king. So a kingdom can be formed anywhere with the help of the crown. So when the crown comes upon a man, he can just erect any building and the people will start meeting him there. But when the crown is taken out of your head, then you are no king. So you must understand. The Bible said that when Saul died and a certain man found him dying, and then Saul asked the man to complete the killing. As soon as the man fulfilled what Saul instructed him to do, what did he do? He brought the crown to David. He didn't bring the crown to someone else, because to him David is the next king. David is the prophesied king. So the crown is the kingdom. So my point is that the Bible is saying that a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. It means she is the kingdom that will complete whatever kingdom you carry. But she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness in his bone. So what does it tell you? It means the kingdom with the opposite kingdom is what? A destruction to whatever structure you have, because your bone is a structure, the skeleton is the structure. So the rottenness is what brings the structure down, but the crown is what completes the structure. So you are the building, but she's the crown. So if you are unable to find a crown in a woman, a kingdom that will complement whatever kingdom you carry, child of God, whatever you have will collapse. It will be a waste of effort. That is why many generals today are corrupted, because of the kind of woman they married. They felt peace, a complacent peace, a deceitful peace, as soon as they paid their bride price, thinking it was an approval from heaven, not knowing that heaven never gave their consent. Because of where these women are in the spirit. There are women in Egypt, there are women in Ethiopia, there are women in Sodom, there are women in Gomorrah. So when you go there and bring them and pay bride price and cause them to climb the altar with you, and a man of God comes and wed you people by the power of a ring that bring you people to bondage, and you say, oh, you are married, you must be fooling yourself. You must understand where they belong. There are women of the Israelites in this world. Look for them wherever they are. Some of them are in South Africa. Some of them are in Nigeria. They are scattered every part of the earth. Where you came from physically does not count. It is where you are connected to spiritually. So you must know an Israelite if you are an Israelite. When you fail to discover an Israelite in a woman, then you are no Israelite. You are nothing but an Egyptian. You can be indigenized. You can claim nationality by birth. You can claim nationality by being brought up in a particular place. You can buy it. You can work it. So it doesn't matter how you became an Egyptian. The day you end up with an Egyptian, you become an Egyptian. You can be an Israelite today and tomorrow you become an Egyptian because of the kind of woman you ended up with. There are things I need to reveal, but I can't finish them in one record. So it's an episodic sermon. I'm coming here again to take you deeper concerning these things. There are many things we need to know so we can escape the devil's trap and snare. The greatest or one of the greatest mistakes your ministers ever made that is still killing them today is the women they married. I am telling you the gospel truth. The women they married. Forget these people they call mommy G.O. or pastor's wife or mommy or whatever. Many of them are serpents. They are children of Lavienta, the PSC serpents. There are many Jezebels on the altar. That is why the book of Revelation said, one thing I hold against you, thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, who calleth herself prophetess, to teach. So your pastors married Jezebel and call them prophetess. So you can see them in the banner, see them in hand B, and they call them prophetess this, prophetess that, prophetess this, prophetess that, when they are Jezebel in the spirit realm. And anytime they meet with these people, they corrupt them all. That is why each time they come to teach, they keep increasing in lies and deception, because of what? The contact they had. When did David become a liar? When did David become a killer? It was when he met with Bathsheba. So through the sex or the sexual intercourse, he was corrupted. So there are people you meet, whether by legal grounds physically or illegal grounds physically, so long spiritually there is no divine approval, the woman is not yet sanctified, and you had contact with her, you will be corrupted. This is the voice of heaven, Son of David. Wisdom is crying in the streets of YouTube.